Hello everybody, this is Hybrid and today I'll be reviewing Exo Manowar number 4. So it's been a while since this issue actually continued on, and it came out last Wednesday, but I was kind of busy on Wednesday, so I ended up not reviewing it. But anyways, let's begin with the recap and then scores. So we start off with the Vine, or the Spider Aliens, as they've been renamed in the reboot of the series, and they are kind of investigating damage done by the Manowar armor during the last issue when Eric escaped. So as you actually look at their armors, it looks like a lower class version of the Manowar armor, because if you didn't know, at least in the original series, it kind of operated on a ranking system, I believe. The Admiral and like the High Priest and like this other commander are talking about what to do with the armor, and they're really disagreeing on what to do. While the priest wants to study it and see why it chose a human, the admiral wants to see basically, or not see, but he wants to capture it, and if they can't capture it, just destroy it, because obviously it's a threat. It's very powerful. So then we go to but before we move on, they say though that a council, I guess, has to like decide on what to do. So that gives us a good idea of what type of government they have. We get to present day, or we're already at present day, but Italy, more specifically Rome. Eric's there, and obviously he thinks this is still Rome. He doesn't understand that time's gone by, so he automatically attacks all of the guards, or not guards exactly, but whoever or whatever the opposing force is, he just attacks them. And obviously he is winning, as he's wearing this very powerful armor. It's like Iron Man versus a bunch of thugs, basically. So he's flying up there, and some fighter jets attack him. He takes care of them very quickly, but then he takes one of the pilots. He questions the pilot about Italy, or not Italy, but about Rome and Emperor and all this stuff. And seemingly right then and there, when the pilot's like, Rome's just a city, basically, it's like the armor puts in his mind like a history lesson, pretty much. Like he goes through the end of the Roman Empire, the Crusades, the Renaissance, World War II, etc. So then he realizes, wow, I've been gone for 16 centuries. Questions the pilot a little bit more about the Visigoths and everything, learns they don't exist anymore. And then at that moment, he flies off and goes off the grid. So then we go to Manhattan, and we go to this guy in his kind of penthouse, I think that's the proper name for it, or apartment, and he's getting this unknown call. His name's Alexander, and he's watching the whole Manowar thing. He seems very interested in the Manowar kind of armor. So like he has 3 TVs literally turned on just on the Manowar incident. So he kicks out the people in his house or apartment, and then he investigates on it a little bit. From there, he enters a kind of state of astral projection, and we learn he is one of those covert aliens that we saw in the first issue, which is basically a spider alien or vine alien that is genetically modified to appear and seem like a human being when he's really not. That's interesting. I'm glad they didn't just drop that right then and there. And there's tons of other people just like that, and even females, not just males, and they're all talking about what to do. So I guess the order from the council was to see if these people can capture the armor, and if they can't, the Vine's military, I guess, is going to invade Earth and destroy it. So from there, they talk about what to do, and they're like, we need to take care of this. So assumably they're going to call someone called Ninjaka, or Ninjaki, and I actually know they are going to call, because there's a preview of Exo Manowar issue number 5 in this issue, and it shows that, and that should be good, because he is a long-term kind of opponent of Exo Manowar from the last series. So that should be interesting, seeing how they reboot him. All in all, I actually enjoyed this issue more than the last issue, I think. So art 4.5, and honestly, you might be like, wait, why is it a 4.5? It's pretty good art, but the pencilings aren't perfect. Well, it's not just about penciling. If you look at like when they're in the astral projection kind of mode, that art is really awesome, actually. Like, it's really cool and interesting. And then also when they're in space, that kind of look too. Like, it's so unique, and you don't really see that, because a lot of comics aren't space, or anything like that anymore. They're all grounded to earth and in a city, usually a big city. So just things like that. I liked how it seemed like it took a break basically from the traditional what we usually have in our modern comic books that are really popular. But then plot, writing, and characters give it a 4 because I did enjoy it, but it wasn't perfect to me. Like I felt like a few things were off at times. And then we go to enjoyment, which I give it an 8. Which I did enjoy the issue, but still I wish there was a little bit more with Eric in there, considering this is his series. So I would have liked to see that more, but I'm glad they're not just dropping the whole basically covert alien thing and all this other stuff. So all in all, it gets at 82%. I recommend you do read this series. It's pretty good. That's about it for me, really. Tomorrow I post a teaser for the next comic book verses. This is Hybrid. Please subscribe, comment, like, and see you guys later.